on my Twitter feed and I said, you know, I got to talk about this a little bit. So this girl, right, it looks like she made like a whole or a Fansflix or one of these other websites that girls, you know, put themselves on. I go, when you destroy your brand by being a greedy, you always reserve the right to sell pics after. Live life on easy mode. So you guys could see here, this kind of gives a timeline of what happened, right? Here's the lore. So she went viral in June of 2024, a random street interview in Nashville, right? Where she said, oh, Hawk Tuah, spit on that thing, right? Within weeks of that, she gets millions of views everywhere, quits her factory job, starts selling Hawk Tuah merch, and makes a lot of money quickly, right? She signs on with an agency, launches a podcast called Hawk Tuah, right? I think the channel is still up. Let me see if it's still up. Yeah, it's still here. Looks like she hasn't posted for 8 months, bro. Oh my God, these chicks are so lazy, bro. Anyway, so she watched her podcast, right? She had some pretty big guests on it before. If you looked earlier, so here we go. 1 year. Yeah, I don't know who a lot of these. Okay, yeah, there you go. She had Wiz Khalifa, Jake Paul, KSI. You know, I mean, Mark Cuban. Who, if you're wondering, yes, he is. He is one of them. Oh yeah, by the way, her too. She is also one of them. But which probably explains the whole crypto rug pull. But, you know, this is kind of, you know, this is the fact that she got on guests like this without even being on social media for a year, you know, goes to show the meteoric rise, right, that she had. So then in late November 2024, if you guys remember, she announces a token called Hawk, launched with a Web3 team called Over Here. Fans who bought the merch got early access. She kept around 10% of the supply. December 4, 2024. She launched it on Solana. Market cap explodes to 490 million to 550 million. Within 2 to 3 hours, token collapses 90 to 95%. Oh, man. People immediately call it a rug. On-chain tracker showed 96% of the supply was clustered in insider wallets. One wallet bought 17.5% of the token, dumped it fast, made around 1.3 million in under 90 minutes. That same night, she joined an X Space with her team. The team avoids clear answers. She fell asleep. So lazy. And then early 2025, a leaked podcast clip circulates where she admits she regrets the people who she partnered with. She lost almost all sponsors. She's still dealing with the developer side. Now in 2026, her content is mostly dogs, charity, low-key posts, and paid exclusive content from fanfics. Another one bites the dust, ladies and gentlemen. Another one bites the dust. From, you know, social media star to dumb thought that blew a great opportunity. Right. And kind of crazy, bro. Kind of crazy. But this is crazy, bro. You want to talk about a fall off? Oh, this is a fall off right here. But really crazy. Let me see here. I think there was a video. And the reason why she gets roasted so hard is because this is like a monumental fall off, right? Like just monumental. Like you had everything going for you. You had Jake Paul supporting you, paying for your podcast. And now it's just cooked right here. This guy 7 days ago
on June 9th.
We'll watch a little bit of this. We're not going to watch the whole thing because we got some more important to talk about. But
9th, 2024, in front of the Old Red Bar on Broadway Street in Nashville, Tennessee, are YouTubers Tim and D.
Another thing, bro, she never gave these credit, bro. Yo, you would think, you know, if someone gives you a crazy opportunity and puts you on like that, right? You would like bring these on the pod, talk to them. Hey, thanks for putting me on. None of that, bro.
A pair of street interviewers who target inebriated women to extract salacious answers from their equally indelicate questions. Across the street was one such.
Yeah, I don't see people doing street interviews like that. I think it's like almost like a dying genre. Street interviews were huge in like 23, 24. Like everyone was excited to get back outside after, you know, after the with COVID.
Small-town factory worker that was in Nashville for a music festival. Though her friend takes over the interview as the factory worker walks off, though she returns shortly and delivers an answer.
Oh, you gotta give it.
And the reason why she, and the other thing too I want to say, right? The reason why this girl blew up is because she has that all-American feel. She's not really hot. She's extremely average looking. She looks like the girl next door. And like this tend to do pretty well sometimes, you know, if they have like a bubbly personality or whatever. And that's what ended up getting her famous, right? But she let the greed take over. She had some idiots in her camp, and she got greedy.
And that Hawk.
The quickest way to ruin your career is to get greedy and like do with crypto, man. That's why y'all are never gonna see me and Fresh launch some kind of crypto coin or any of that.
And spit on that thing.
And there, my friends, a legend was made, and an inevitable failure as well.
And delivers an answer.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah and spit on that that thing. You get me?
3 weeks later, this factory worker would be mingling with an expanding roster of celebrities. 6 months later, she would launch a crypto coin that failed not even 30 minutes after launch. And over a year later, alongside frequently paying mind to her detractors, she would be streaming Fortnite to 9 viewers. And evidently selling photos.
Bro, and nobody wants to watch girls play video games, dude. Girls suck at video games.
She would
9 viewers is crazy. Holy. And this is her podcast channel.
be streaming Fortnite to 9 viewers. And evidently selling photos of her feet on her fanfics.
Yep. And when you're a girl, you can do that. You can always take the easy way out as a female and be a thot.
While it may seem unrealistic compared to where she is now, there was a small window of time where she was viewed as the all-American, someone honest and industrious, and she appeared to embody these ideals partly because she was not seeking fame. She was actively hiding from it. But first, I'd like to thank Chime for sponsoring this video.
Yeah, okay.
Considering at least one of her friends was present during the interview and thus knew to look out for the video. Alarmingly, every time she revisited the video, it would only grow far beyond her wildest expectations. It was only when she arrived at work at the Spring Factory and where she was in charge of packaging orders that she knew her life would never be the same. Her coworkers knew before she did, as they had also seen the video and made her well aware of that fact. Her close circle of friends, her coworkers, and the rest of the world were discussing what otherwise would be an offhand comment. As the video grew in popularity and jumped across various platforms and posts, it was firmly dubbed Hawk Tuah, an onomatopoeia. Separately regarded was the Hawk Tuah girl. Though her friend had clearly said her name in the original video, the internet at large was only exposed to the soundbite of Hawk Tuah and not the extended clip. Yet there was interest in the mystery as
No, you don't have to pay for kit, guys.
to who this girl was. Through the video alone, one could infer that she's possibly from Tennessee and her first name is Haley. Yet several days had passed and Haley had not taken ownership of it as expected. There was a bizarre and real desire to find Haley, the Hawk Tuah girl. A painting was made to commemorate her, and across all social media she was virtually only celebrated for her faux pas, as a counter to the divisive nature of social media. As to only aid in the search, YouTubers Tim and D, around the 16th, in the absence of Haley's social media, posted her and her friends' full first and last names, effectively doxing the pair. Haley had been hiding, leaving her house revealed.
So this is our podcast now. We'll fast forward to the podcast.
Jake Paul's degree of confidence in this podcast, pointing to its lack in value.
Thank you for coming on my cringy podcast.
Let me be honest with y'all, man. Lead podcasts are fucking garbage. Lead podcasts are fucking garbage. I'm gonna just say it, okay? They're just garbage. And the reason why they're garbage is because long-form content requires charisma, charm, experience, the ability to speak on your feet, right? The ability to convey your ideologies or your stories or your worldviews in a palatable manner. And it's also got to be interesting and enjoyable to listen to. Unfortunately, most never learn these skill sets because there's no fire or no crucible, for lack of a better term, or no incentive to develop these skills, because no matter what we do, they're going to be praised. So since we are praised for simply having and existing, a lot of them don't feel the need to improve their vernacular, improve their vocabulary, improve the way that they convey their ideas, be charismatic, etc. Because they don't have to. Men have to. So this is why most run podcasts are absolutely unlistenable, okay? Garbage. And if you look at podcasts in general, most of the top 10 are going to be run by men. The only genre I think that might beat men at is like true crime. That might be it. But other than that, in general, run podcasts are garbage, bro. Okay? And that's a fact.
Hey, I don't think it's cringy. I really like where you guys are going with the science and the history of civilization and just being able to explore and break down barriers of human philosophy.
I still don't even know what philosophy means.
You're not helping your case.
Yeah, I'm really not. It's okay.
Right. Well, it's amazing to be here. Thank you.
Well, of course. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Well, he sponsored the podcast in the beginning. If I'm not mistaken, he put up all the money in the early stages. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering, bruh, it's like at this point.
Every single time, every single crime.
I think we had to delete the last one, right? That we did.
I'm sure it still exists somewhere.
I was as drunk as a skunk.
Yeah, you walked off of it. It's okay.
I didn't walk off. Did I walk off? I
Yeah.
didn't
You
walk
actually
off.
kicked the microphone over and
It's a
said, this podcast.
I feel like I should get up and do that sometimes.
Jake was not the only guest to
See? Painful. I only let you guys endure about 1 minute of that. You're all you guys are already saying what the fuck is going on.
make fun of the podcast on it.
And I also saw it was like a collage, I guess, or like a slideshow, whatever you want to call it. But it had like 1 million likes, and it was like a picture of me and you, and it slowly faded into like Plato and Socrates, I believe. And it was like pretty much calling us the next Plato and Socrates. So
What the fuck does that mean?
we're like philosophers, essentially. Do you know?
And then just do me a favor, smash that like button. We got 2,000 plus you guys in here. Smash that like button for me, okay, guys? Let's get the likes up. We'll be on here for roughly another 30 minutes or so. We're not going to give YouTube too much time.
Who they are?
No.
All right.
What is that?
I'm not even gonna lie, I have no idea what he's talking about either.
Wow. Maybe you guys should listen to some of the philosophers, and then you guys would come with some more in-depth stuff for Talk Tuah.
Wait.
Bro said what I've always been saying. Hey, maybe if you dumb some reading, and we're 50 IQ, you guys would be a little bit more interesting and entertaining, where you guys can hold a podcast yourself.
You mean a philosopher?
And here's another thing too. I gotta say, I gotta admit this. Not everybody should have a podcast, bro. Like, I've realized that there's been like a rise since 2020. Right now, stuck in their house and shit like that. Everybody bought a fucking Blue Yeti mic and got a StreamYard account and started just streaming themselves yapping. This ain't for everybody, bro. This really isn't for everybody. It really isn't. This should make people have to get permits or licenses to be able to buy a microphone and start a pod.
Like Shakespeare?
Well,
God, she's
Is
digging
that the
herself
wrong
a deeper
answer?
hole.
Shakespeare was something more of like, a play, like he would write plays.
So we were talking about like our vapes. She's like, we don't have like vapes here with like flavors in them. And I was like, well, why not? She's like, oh, the prime minister doesn't allow it. And I was like, prime minister? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I thought y'all had presidents there.
No,
don't know.
no, we don't.
I don't get out much if you can't tell
We
me.
also have provinces instead of states. Man, just like Plato and Socrates. Me and you.
You're gonna have to sit down and educate me some more sometime.
Yeah, someone needs to.
In no exaggeration, every episode of the Talk Tuah podcast would be littered with comments not engaging with the episodes. Rather, there were comments overstating the podcast importance, with users citing how they would unplug loved ones' life support to view the podcast, or were skipping their wedding
Yeah, they're just trolling. You know what I mean?
and were dropping out of college purely to binge it. The first episode of the podcast sits at 2.8 million views, yet no episode would ever again surpass 1 million views. And as continued to be the case with their popularity, views trended downward.
All right.
This is very, very, very frustrating.
So we'll go into the crypto rug pull real quick.
Why the fuck are you on?
I've been tracing it on chain.
Here and we have a lot of fun stuff planned, and this is the beginning. So maybe they might be interested in these other memes and these other NFTs that are in this community. Because if you like Hawk Tuah, you might like Dog with Hat. If you like Hawk Tuah, right, you might like Mog. You might like Kekasi. You might like all these other memes that are amazing. Over here, which is this is their first launch, right? This is really cool what they're doing. I'm gonna pass it off to Over Here, and I think like what we're
There we go.
here,
Thank you
this
for
is
that.
day one. Yeah, it was a rough day. Yeah, we got sniped to but guess what? Moving forward, Over Here, and we have a lot of fun stuff planned, and this is the beginning. So Over Here, take it from here.
Thanks, Doc. Guys, I think, Doc maybe a little bit over exuberant.
Doc Hollywood spoke in the space for 11 minutes uninterrupted. He then passes it on to Over Here. Though more coherent, Over Here discusses his, and to that extent the team behind the coin's vision for it and how they plan to integrate Haley's audience. After around 10 minutes of speaking, CoffeeZilla, a creator known for...
And you guys know CoffeeZilla be exposing everybody, right? If you're a scammer, this dude is your worst enemy, bro. If you're a course bro, or if you're one of these guys that be scamming, this is your worst enemy, dude. This guy. Bro is the top op for all the scammers.
Schemes chimes in.
I'm really happy to answer any
I have
questions.
questions. I have questions. I'm raising my hand. Hey, guys.
What CoffeeZilla?
So he goes in there and he crashes their space. I remember when he did this. It's like a year or two ago.
Hey,
man.
this is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the fuck are you on?
I've been tracing it on chain for a while. You guys generated over $1 million in fees while y'all's fans got rug pulled. There was snipers, but there was also insider trading directly linked to y'all's creator account. What are you guys doing?
No, that's
Cooked.
That's not true.
That is true. That's a
No,
fact.
it's not.
Well, it's a fact, and you can see it on chain.
In simple terms, before the launch of the token, they pre-sold an overwhelming majority of the tokens. These investors came in at an immediate advantage. Naturally, as the token launched, and experienced crypto users immediately bought a high volume of tokens that were available to the public, the prices went up as regular users purchased the coin, though they had almost immediately lost their money as those who had purchased it early were already selling en masse. CoffeeZilla, curious in why the token was set up in a way that it only benefited pre-sale purchasers and those experienced in the crypto space, had many questions. Primarily, who on—
Guys, it's never worth it, bro. Putting out your own coin, all this other shit, man, I've been offered so many times to put out a coin, NFT, fuck that, dude. Not worth it, bro.
Haley's side was profiting from—
Oh, shit. We got the other Mordecai. Minnie Welch, welcome. Welcome.
trading fees.
We could answer that.
You know about the insider trading?
No, there's no insider trading. That's why we can answer it.
Okay, so there's tokens
CoffeeZilla,
going directly from the main account,
CoffeeZilla, just chill for a second.
and then it's getting sold for 50K. Who is that?
Definitely not us. You think we're doing this for 50K? Yeah, fucking right. Talking to the wrong guy. You're used to these scammers out here, not us. Now we had—
That's what everyone says, by the way.
Listen.
That is what they all say.
There was a strategic allocation, right, through a foundation.
How much did y'all get doing a pre-sale? How much did y'all make?
It's not that
selling
we
out
made.
your fans. So
over
other
here,
people
can you give
dump on your fans.
Hold on, CoffeeZilla, take a chill pill, brother.
Yeah, so
Y'all just rug pulled a bunch of people.
No, there's no rug. We're here.
Yeah, they should have never let him up in the space. Shout out to Lonix with the gifted. Appreciate you. Yeah, like if they were smart, they should not have, because for those of you that like aren't too familiar with Twitter, right? There's something called Twitter Spaces, right? You guys know that's where I do my clan meetings. And on Twitter Spaces, Julian and Gone XP, thank you. In Twitter Spaces, the host can bring people up so that they can talk. Bringing him up to talk was not in their best interest. That him up because he was recording from his side the whole time, dude. Thank you, Red Pill Clippers.
There's no rug pull, and it's not done by us.
You haven't answered the question. Who made the money? How much did Haley Welch make of that million, 1.8 million?
It's a foundation that is running this project.
How much does she own of it?
It's a foundation. She owns zero of the foundation.
So y'all made the money?
No, I don't own the foundation either. A foundation in the Cayman Islands.
Who profited over?
Yeah, this was such a bad idea to bring him up like this. They themselves up.
To happen.
NH, thank you for the gifted.
When your insiders get sent their token. And by the way, who made the money from your 17% pre-sale while you're giving a tiny piece of the pie to the public? Like, what the hell? This is the worst tokenomics I've ever seen, and it is a scam.
It's not a scam.
The tokenomics are a scam. That's my opinion. You can say whatever you want about it. You can cry defamation. That's my opinion. It's a scam.
Well,
and I only do this for a living. I've only seen 1 million of these projects.
Yeah, that's literally what this guy does. Like, all CoffeeZilla does is expose people selling courses and shit like that.
So who pays you, CoffeeZilla? Let's track your wallet.
Turn it around. Turn it around.
Over here, why don't you tell CoffeeZilla what we're doing with this project?
In CoffeeZilla, asking about the core issues of the token, and Doc Hollywood unable to provide an explanation outside of deferring responsibility to the quote-unquote foundation, it appears over here attempts to regain control of the conversation by muting CoffeeZilla.
I just got muted.
Yeah, so I mean, like we as mentioned, like
over here proceeds by providing nothing of value and only sharing the vision of the coin and other unsubstantiated nonsense. 4 minutes later, FaZe Banks steps in.
Go ahead, FaZe Banks.
Appreciate it. I just heard this guy blab about pretty much nothing and repeat the same that he said the first time around. Haley, I'm going to talk to you directly right now because
so now FaZe Banks gets in here and talks to her.
If you really own 10% of the supply of this token and it's locked up for a year and it's vested over 3 years, you got scammed harder than anybody involved. This 100% was a miss.
Bro, you know you f***ed up when you got this degen coming in here telling you you made life mistakes. You know you f***ed up.
Mismanaged, mislaunched. Like this is took what CoffeeZilla said. I would label this a scam as well. And I'll wrap up here with just whoever
Face Master Chat? No way. Well, you know what? It makes sense actually.
Whoever
shout out to you, Neen,
guided you in this, or whoever directed you to do this, or gave you the advice to do this, you should fire them immediately. And
yeah, I just want to jump in here.
Yeah, I'm doing the best I can. Thank you, FaZe.
The conversation had evolved into an aggressive attempt to control the narrative. CoffeeZilla and FaZe were persistent in attempting to extract answers on why the project was structured exactly as a scam. Doc Hollywood and over here, unable to answer these technical questions, resort to hype man rhetoric and other nonsense about memes that would typically work on the uninformed and eager, although this was not the crowd that they were now speaking to.
The key is just not giving up. Key is showing up every single day, memeing. The key is to actually onboarding her real, true fans. This might not be for everybody. It's not a big deal to us. We ain't going anywhere.
Part of the reason behind kind of like the coin and stuff like that has been that, there's been a bunch of fake tokens launched, right? Off the Hawk Tuah meme and IP. I think like everybody resonates with Hawk Tuah as a...
All right, let's fast forward this.
To Doc Hollywood, who now, in mid-December, had not commented further on the matter. The same could be said for Haley, as the internet at large was counting up how long her slumber was after leaving the Twitter space abruptly. Then it became all too clear why she was absent. It was because this lawsuit was in motion by Berwick Law targeting virtually everyone involved except Haley. As per this Decrypt article, quote, when asked why Welsh was not listed as a co-defendant in the Hawk lawsuit, Max Berwick, managing partner at Berwick Law, said the decision was intentional and hinted it might help make his clients whole sooner, unquote. Shortly after, Haley, or perhaps her lawyer, made a statement through her account on how they would be assisting Berwick Law.
Panchuga, thank you for the gifted.
Likely in their case against Doc Hollywood, his team, and the other major parties involved in the coin. After this, there will not be any new Hawk Tuah episodes for some time. There will not be much of Haley Welsh at all.
I also imagine all the parasites.
This guy. And I know a lot of you guys like Charlie, but I've always said that, like, if Charlie is what I call the normie barometer, right? If Moist Critical, aka Charlie, aka Penguin, Zio, whatever's he uses like 3 different names. If he makes a video on you, you've officially hit the mainstream and you've officially become a normie. So he made a video criticizing Benjamin Netanyahu, and I was like, oh, that's when I realized the pill has gone mainstream.
Around Haley that actually control her, because
but as usual with a lot of these commentator YouTubers, they don't really hold any real opinions. They kind of just, straddle the fence in the middle and try to garner as much views as they can because they're pulling from both the left and the right as a centered voice. This is exactly what losers like Reach do, Penguin, Jamari, etc. They cosplay as centrists when a lot of the times they're really leftists and liberals, but they have to pretend as if they're centered so they can get the most views for both sides. And this is why, someone like Charlie debates Nico and absolutely gets annihilated, right? Like completely destroyed because these guys don't have any real views, you look at someone like Abba, for example. He debated Sneeko a week or 2 ago. We broke down that debate. Abba's he knows nothing about politics or foreign policy or anything. Bro is terrified to talk about, them. He has all this to say about racism, but as soon as the topic of he nowhere to be found, then cool. So these commentators like Anus and Reach, Moist Critical, Jamar, all these are frauds. They kind of just take the opinion that seems to be like the most popular and run with that for views.
She has become.
But I will say, if he's talking about a topic, it's officially hit